found out some interesting shit about history last night. I thought I'd pass along to you all because I'm a truly huge historian buff. And I would like to tell some jokes and get everybody's Friday just lift it. Lift it Friday. That's what today is. Lift it. That means after today, we's going to go out and we going to get on. It's going to be party time. Party time. Like better than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming up upon some free pizzas. That's what today feels like to me. That's how excited I am today. It's a great day to be an American, my friends. And if you're not here in America, I feel bad, but there are still great other countries out there that are just right there with America. So I'm sure you're not wanting for much too. I feel bad for Russians. I feel bad for Chinese and all them people. It must suck to live knowing that you're worth nothing. This here is my squirt bottle of coffee. I didn't put the top on it. It doesn't have a nipple. I don't like sucking off nipples when I drink my coffee. So once again, it's been quite a few minutes and nobody's in. Oh, there it is, just like yesterday. I was just about to bitch how nobody's in here. And suddenly somebody shows up. So here's what I was talking about today, my friend. Did you know that Mozart composed songs? Oh, he left, man. Now I can't tell the joke. Now we gotta wait again. Now we gotta wait again. I got a note saying that, or a message from YouTube saying that there's some problem with some of the stuff that I'm putting out. Apparently, it's not reading right or something like that. So I may not be on this long because I only seen one person on here so far, and like I said, I got that note. But yeah, I love history, and I was reading about Mozart, and here he wrote songs about licking assholes. It's a true story, bro. Bro, Mozart, right? Mozart, one of the greatest composers of all times, wrote songs about assholes and licking assholes and all types of crazy shit. Happy birthday! Nice, Litzy. Mine is coming up at the end of the month. I'm an Aries. I suppose like you, or you're an Aries, correct? But anywho's, yeah, Mozart wrote about licking assholes in songs. I can't believe it. There's actually, if you go online, YouTube, you can find like real fucking like singers, like big time singers singing songs written by Mozart, and it's like, I'm gonna lick an asshole tonight. What? That is some crazy ass shit. Yeah, man. Could you imagine? Like, back in the 90s, I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but they had that trial where they tried to limit the artists' rights, and it was like all over Two Live Crew. And I forget what song it was. Somebody will remind me. But the Tibber and Al Gore apparently heard this rap song, and they was like, "Oh my God, my kids in my ears! I can't believe what I'm hearing. Freedom of speech must be shut down immediately." So they tried, but like Bob Denver and Two Live Crew and fucking the dude from Twisted Sister and shit, all these weird fucking people. I love you, Rodolfo. That all these people came together and they were like, "Fuck you guys. You know, you can't tell us what to sing about." I could only imagine if Mozart was there. He was like, "Excuse me? Oh, I never stop about singing songs about licking the ass. That is my favorite part of the body." I don't know why I turned him into Mario. I'm pretty sure he's French, but I just wanted to really get it out there. Hey, give me a like, share, subscribe. I don't expect much from anybody. I'm a 3. I am no better than a 3 out of 10. I got a half decent personality. And, Tipper Gore, man, she put explicit lyric warnings on CDs. She tried to attack the video games, saying that they were too graphic. Here's a funny story. Donald Trump, his first presidency, was talking about how video games fuck kids up, like mentally. So here he's showing clips from video games, and they're using the clip from my buddy's website, Death Mule. So my buddy Death Mule got like fucking 5, 6 million hits just because the president of the United States had put up a video of his. Isn't that great? Greetings from the North American. I'm a big fan of yours. We would like to fly out to Vegas on our 26th to take part in great content for our gay week. Any interest? Nah, not particularly. Only because I can't fly anywhere anytime soon. So I got 3 little girls and a wife. They're pretty demanding, dude. This is what you get from me. I would love to do more and always love collaborating, but I don't have time, guys. And this is what you get. That's why I try to spit out jokes quite quick, so that way in the 35 seconds you might give me the chance at looking at my dumb face, you might laugh once or twice. So like I said, like, share, subscribe, get the news out that I'm your best friend ever. No more video games. Why? No. Yes, video games. Video games are good. There's nothing wrong with them. The only video games I have a problem with are the ones that are no good. Just games like E.T., bro. That game was no good on Atari. You couldn't do anything. But, you know, Reba, love me do you hoe bag. Whoa. Let's keep it quite civil. I don't know what happened there. But like I said, yeah, Mozart is the most surprising. See, what they say is when you peak mentally, you don't mature anymore from that age. So apparently Mozart was like fucking peaking at like 5 or 6 years old because he was such a fucking savant. And they were like he never got over like the mental age of 17. So like he fucking fart in people's faces and fart in envelopes and shit and send it to people, or like press a piece of paper up against his butthole so he could sign it. From your favorite asshole, Mozart! Oh my, yes, that's fantastic. I love it. I wish I could see certain people alive today just so I could see their faces, like Mozart, dude. I would love to see that dude's face. Like the first time he saw Pornhub, I don't think Mozart would have ever made anything if he ever saw pornography. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's fucked up. And still, I can't get over that singers from today, classic singers like opera singers, sing songs written by Mozart talking about licking buttholes. It's insane to me, bro. That like you could pay so much more attention to other things. Like I just feel like let's get the cold sheltered. Let's get the hungry bellies fed. Nah, let's talk about farts and asses and licking a butthole. I'm Mozart. So I couldn't survive back in those times, dude. Think about this too. He's singing or composing all this shit in like the 1700s, and what do you think people from the 17th, 16th century smelt like, bro? What do you think? No, you're good. What do you think they smelled like, bro? And you're going to go to the dirtiest part of the dirtiest people. I know Mozart would probably be like, "What? Have you not tried, Frank?" And I tell him, "Not on purpose, buddy." I mean, I had the copper taste once, but not on purpose, my friend. And it was the only time. So, speaking of that, when I was working, we had this guy who always had his ass crack hanging out, right? Like, it didn't matter. Yeah, see, that's what they were saying about me. They were saying that something's fucked up with my videos, and I think that's why I'm not getting any ratings. So if you hear this and you're still all right, give me a like, share, subscribe, help me out. Uh, oh no, Nate, no, I didn't get my hot box in yet, bro. Bro, I was so smoked out yesterday. It took me a legit 4 hours to come down from the stupor I was in, bro. But I got this here. So my new favorite thing to do. My new favorite thing to do. I got this here grinder, right? And I grind up the weed. It goes down into the little chamber. I kind of rough it up with like a toothpick or something, just to kind of grind it a little finer. And at the bottom, they have this little latch here. I don't know if you can see it, but when you open it up, it's all the little fucking bud that escaped, and that's called keef. And let me tell you something about keef. Number one, you can't smoke it in a joint. Don't even try it, because as soon as you light it up, it's going to turn into just one big clogged, oily lump. I can't go. I can't get Pornhub without signing up. I won't do that. Yeah, why would you? Why would you, bro? Yeah, here's what you do, right? Get yourself cleaned up today. When you're done doing what you're doing, right? Get yourself cleaned up. Put on your favorite clothes. Maybe pop on just a little bit of cologne on one side. Go out. First get a nice meal. You know what I mean? Maybe at like you can sit at a bar type of place. So since you're by yourself, you can kind of be alone, but at the same time with people, so it doesn't feel like a weirdo. And then you find out what somebody's drinking. Doesn't matter, male, female, whoever's closest to you. Be like, yeah, I'll take one of them too, and then start a conversation. What's up, Nate? And that's it. That's it, bro. From there, you and that person will start talking, and it will draw more and more of people who don't feel right because they're there by themselves, and they'll start joining in on the conversation because you can see them looking. So you'd be like, "What do you think, brother?" And then it starts this whole thing, man. Like you gotta be the one to start it, and it's awkward, and it's scary, and it's hard because, like, what the fuck do you say to strangers? But you gotta start out with a nice little joke. Like I always, if we're sitting there and we're getting drinks, it goes, whenever I buy a drink, it always makes me think of Bruce Lee's favorite drink. And the person would be, Bruce Lee's what's that? What, huh? Ah! Right? Right. Bro, that's a good opening, man. Like, you tell that joke, and you're going to make a friend that day. You know what I mean? And that's all you want. Because from that friend, he might have a sister or a ex-girlfriend or somebody, and they introduce you to each other, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I'm in a relationship. This is crazy. I would much rather be involved with a person than having a $28 Pornhub monthly subscription, bro. And I know it's hard. And for any of them dudes that think it's not them, it's women, it's you. It's you. It's never women. It ain't never the woman. You know what I mean? Women love anybody. They will love anybody regardless of what they look like. The thing that they need is the emotional depth. As long as you genuinely ask how they're feeling, and you get involved with their lives, and you make them feel important, they will always come back to you. You just treat them well and let them do whatever they want to do. You can't control people, just like you can't control the weather. The only thing, I say this all the time, the only thing you can do is control whether you're going to be happy or unhappy. So which one are you gonna be? I'd rather be happy, yo. Yeah, Nate was here yesterday when I was hotboxing that big fucking doober, bro. That thing hurt my face. Like, the whole right side of my face swelled up. According to me, I looked in the mirror and I was fine, but like it just felt like my whole face was swole. Speaking of that, does anybody remember using the word swole? Like, man, I'm so fucking swole right now. I could kick a wall. I think that's a pretty funny word. And one time when I was like 15, I was making prank phone calls at my house. And the guy who I prank called did the star 69 and called back my house. And my mom picked up. So I know who it is on the fucking phone. I'm just sitting downstairs, hanging out with my buddy, laughing and everything. So my mom, get up here. I get up there, right, and I look at her. She has this fucking mad face, but I couldn't help but start laughing, dude. And if you know anything about women, when they're pissed off, if you start laughing, that's an automatic you may get stabbed or shot if there is a weapon within 3 feet of them. Because they don't like that shit at all. So, anywho's, my mom told me something I'll never forget. She said, I am so goddamn irate at you right now. Irate? I am fucking irate. I said, Mom, you used a word I never heard of. I know you must be mad. I'm fucking steaming. Said, all right, I'm sorry. I won't make no more prank phone calls. I didn't mean to laugh in your face, but it was funny when you said irate and it made me laugh because I ain't never heard that shit before. And I think that might have been like one of the last conversations that I ever had with my mom. Not that she's passed or anything, I just don't see her or talk to her. So, good times. Here's my coffee. It's not a Gatorade. Yeah, boy, it's fucking Friday, man. I got my birthday coming up on the 29th. Thinking about going to Atlantic City on the 28th because that's a Friday, spending the night, and then uh, coming back on Saturday. Mm. You know who I this is the dumbest thing as a kid we used to do. We used to call up the Home Shopping Network, and they had an operator voice. It was automatic, and its name was Tootie. So we would talk to Tootie as much as we could until it would put us with a human, and we'd always be like, "Hey, what you do with Tootie? I want her back, 'cause she was Rudy Tootie, fresh and fruity." And we bitch at the fucking real operators to put us back with Tootie. I know it's stupid, but when you're 13 years old, that shit is fucking money. It was the best time of my life, man, I swear. Just doing dumb shit like that was so fun to me. Sometimes I miss being little. Most of the time, I do not. I got my ass kicked a lot when I was little. That's why I'm so beautiful. I had an older brother and three older sisters, and particularly my brother would pound fucking my face pretty good. We used to watch wrestling all the time. And for anybody who is familiar with the early 80s, late 80s, early 90s wrestling of that time, it was pretty violent. And we would go downstairs and hold wrestling matches. Like, I'd be the Undertaker, my brother the Ultimate Warrior, my sister would be, whoever, and my other sister would be whoever, right? So, like, Ben would pick me up and body slam me. Not hard, we were just playing. And, like, he wouldn't like it that I'd get right back up. And since I was, Undertaker or Hulk Hogan, like, I would just, like, pretend he didn't hurt me. And I'd just be like, boo, boo, boo. So one day, he got so fucking mad, I got up. he fucking, he body slammed me, bro. And my entire life jumped out of my chest 6 or 7 inches and then came kerplunking back, dude. Oh my God, I was so hurt. I think I literally, it was the first time I literally just laid for about 15, 20 minutes and didn't move because I was fucked up. I was fucked up, man. He did a good job beating on my spine. Yeah. We used to play this other game called Corners. We'd have one person in the corner in the middle of the room, and there were bases, 4 bases on each side. And the objective was is to try to tackle a person who wasn't on a base. So this was a violent game too. We run around on all fours, and if somebody didn't get on the base or something, we would fuck them up. Get hip check into the boards and fucking just start smashing on them. You're it. They can't fucking barely move or walk. They had to get on hands and knees and try to tackle us, dude. It is, Nate. It was. My basement was God's natural disaster place. That with 5 kids, and we all had friends. You know what I mean? So like, that place was nonstop, and it was massive. My house was massive, and the basement was probably like 1,700 feet, and we used to set up forts on each side, and we'd start by throwing like pillows and stuff. Then I'd get a little bit more aggressive with like tennis balls. Then we'd get out like the baseballs and throw them. Soon enough, we'd be throwing fucking bowling balls at each other, bro. Like shit, these forts were so crazy, man. Like we could climb in and out of them. It was the best time ever. Very, very close the line. And it's like it's like I just like you said, we clothesline the hell out of each other. It's just like, why did we do these things to each other? There was no reason for the fucking nonchalant violence that we easily displayed on our fucking friends, our local community people and shit. Like just torture them for no fucking reason, you know? That was crazy. It was fun. Like I remember playing like wrestling and football and shit, and I'd get real fucking intense, and people knew who I was because I was always real loud. Like I was yelling and screaming and fucking yeah, yeah, I was like a fucking 8 years old. I was like a steroid patient. So like people would be scared to death to get into the ring with me sometimes, dude. And like I remember like stepping towards people and then running out of bounds. Like, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't imagine, like Hulk Hogan was one of my idols. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson. Like I had so many idols in the 80s. So many different people that I looked up to. It turned me into a gosh darn crazy person. Like part Pee Wee Herman, part Simpsons, part fucking, whatever movies, Jurassic Park, this and that. Plus, I was in sports and always doing things. I always moved, man. I always moved. Yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't always great. Life wasn't great back then. I was much poorer. We were very poor when I was growing up, but we were happy. And like I said, we all had friends, so it wasn't like we had nothing to do. It's just what we did was is we went out to nature. We played sports. Like I would literally play basketball from 10 o'clock in the morning till the street lights came on and I had to go home. Like that's really what we would do all day, and just joke and piss and moan and fucking talk that shit and get drunk sometimes, sneaking dad's beer or mom's liquor. Like they were good times, man. But I went and traded back. My life is good. I have all of you, my people, and that's all I want. I want good friends in my life. I want people who genuinely care about me, and I will genuinely care about you. It's a good world we live in. So don't let it get you down. And like I say, you have any mental health issues, like myself, I have had drug addictions. I had suicidal tendencies. I had all types of major depression, and it's hard to talk about, especially when you don't talk. And I know this will be something people can relate to. The way I was raised was is you're not emotional, you know? So instead of being emotional, I would be reactal. Like I would react to things rather than stop and reflect on my feelings. For a long time, it made me crazy because it felt like if I had feelings of being sad or depressed, I wasn't being a man, you know, and that's hard when that's like driven into you. Took me till I was 35 to be able to admit all the shit that happened to me. You know what I mean? All the shit that happened to me. You know, and sometimes life's really hard on you, but I promise you now, it'll end. It'll get better. You're gonna keep on going, and like I say, I don't. I personally hope that everybody can find peace within themselves. I used Jesus. That's just me. I'm not ever going to preach to you about your feelings or anything, but I truly believe you need to believe in something bigger than yourself in order to help fix yourself. Yeah, I was a heroin addict. I hadn't been to prison. And that's what I'm saying, Nate. Like, some people just, like, it's funny. I knew a Nate growing up, too. Uh, Nathan and Eric, and they were my friends. Like, regardless of whatever happened to them, when we were growing up, they were my friends. I liked Eric. He was my first friend I made. Like, not my mom's girlfriend's friend, son, or whatever. It was somebody I met at school, and I was like, "You're cool." And he was like, "You're cool. And let's hang out." Okay. So I used to hang out with Eric, and his big brother was Nathan. And I always told Eric, Nathan's a good athlete. He's a good dude, but he's fucked up. Like he's a fucked up dude. And I know you really idolize him, Eric, but you gotta take a step back and look at him. And I was probably like fifth or sixth grade, so we stopped hanging out for a few years, right? Well, Nathan dropped out of school, and now he's selling drugs. You know what I mean? So what do you think happens to him? He gets robbed, he gets beat up, he gets fucking gun whipped, and then he's sent to prison. All right, he goes to prison for 6 or 7 years. And Eric and I are back in high school now, much later than what the story started. I tell Eric, man, you gotta stay away from Nathan, man. When he gets out, I'm telling you now, he's gonna be looking for a protege or somebody that has clean prints, because he ain't gonna be able to do none of the shit he thought he could do. They got his fingerprints, they got his DNA. They're gonna fuck him up if he tries to do something. But Eric, nah, nope, that's my brother. I love him. Like it was so bad, we accused him of robbing Christmas presents from one of our friends' house. We had a mutual friend. And I really think that those two brothers stole their Christmas presents. And they sold it all for drugs. And that's upsetting, you know? So Nathan goes back to jail for like 8 years or something. And finally, like 4 years later, I had came back from the Coast Guard. I had served from '02 to the beginning of '05. And I had just gotten home from Kodiak, and this story I'm about to tell you is 100% the truth, and it's fucking crazy. Like, share, sub. So, Eric, we go over to Eric's house. Like I said, it's probably the second day I'm back from Alaska. One of my buddies named Chris Sika had came over too. Oh, forget that. It's Chris. So Chris was a veteran as well. He had just happened to come home just at the same time. So I forget who it was. I think probably Eric was like, "Yo, let's get some coke and go to Atlantic City." I don't know. And Chris was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it." All right. So Chris is driving his mom's car. We go and we get the stuff, and we're leaving out of Woodbury. And I hear Chris. I'm in the front seat, and Chris is next to me. Fuck! I said, "What's wrong?" He goes, "There's a cop behind me." I said, "All right." He goes, "I can't remember." We're stopped at a red light. I can't remember if it said no turn on red. So I said, "Wait for green. You can't get in trouble either way." All right. So he turns on green. The cop turns, puts his headlight on immediately. You pull over. He goes, "You know why I pulled you over there?" "No." "You didn't have your turn signal on, dude. You never turned your turn signal on. I was sitting behind you that whole time, waiting for you to turn your turn signal. You never did it." He was like, "Fuck, I'm so sorry, dude." And the other cop came up from the other side, on my side of the car. And Chris is still talking to the dude. And he goes, the other second cop goes, "Hold on," real loud like that. He goes to the other side of the car with the other cop, and he opens up the back door, and there's Eric sitting back there. He goes, "Get the fuck out of the car now!" Shit, like, okay. He goes, "Where's your needle?" "Needle? What are you talking about?" The needle cap was stuck on his pants zipper. And the cop saw the needle cap stuck on the zipper of his pants. He told Eric if he got pricked by something, he would break his fucking jaw for him. So fucking Eric handed over the needle, and he had the drugs too, but that was in the back seat. So I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. Chris, this is unbelievable." And Chris is just sitting there looking ahead, sweating. I'm like, "Oh my God, what's going on with you, dude? What's going on?" He's like, "I'm wanted in Tennessee." "You're wanted in Tennessee?" "Yeah, I stole jewelry before I left the army." "Oh my God." Cop came up. "Is this your name?" "Yes, sir." "Step out of the car, you're wanted." Clicks him up. The other cop who caught my first buddy, Eric, he's next to me now. He goes, "Hey, you." And I look up at him like, he's like, "Did you do any drugs tonight?" I said, "No, sir. We had just gotten it, and I had just gotten back from the military. I have no idea what's going on." He's like, "All right, this is what I want you to do. You get in the driver's seat of your friend's car, and you follow me back to the police station. Do you understand me?" I said, "Yes, sir." So I'm in the back of the line. I'm following these dudes, right? They go to West Effort. I sit in the car for a minute, catch my breath, put it in park, walk inside, and the same cop turns around and looks at me when I come in and he says, "What the fuck are you doing here?" So I turned around and ran. I was out, bro. I fucking went to Eric's house and I was like, Miss No, fucking Eric got caught with fucking coke and all this shit's happening and they fucking yelled at me." Like, you know what I mean? And it just so happened Nathan was home. So Nate found out how much the bail was, and he told his mom what the bail was, except for he told his mom it was $200 more than it was. Because this story just can't end. It has to keep going. This is a true story. So now, I got Eric in the back seat, picked up from the police station. He's crying his eyes out. I'm driving, and Nate's sitting next to me going, "Yeah, we can get $200 worth of shit." And I'm like, "I ain't going nowhere, Nate. I'm going right the fuck back home. This has been enough." "Nah, man, we're going to Camden." "No, not Camden." I said, "No, I am not going to Camden." "Eric." "Yeah, we're going. I just got fucked up, Frank. I'm going to Camden. You got to drive us there. I'm the only one in trouble. You didn't get in any fucking trouble. You're taking us to Camden." All right. So we park in the shadiest spot in the universe where Nathan leaves us for a good half hour, hour. You know, long enough to debate whether we should just leave. And finally, he came back. And he was supposed to have bought some weed. And he bought crack. $200 worth of crack. So I drove them home, and those two smoked crack all the way until I got back to Pittman, which was about 45-minute drive from Camden. So just uh, just be aware who you're hanging out with, people. I was this close to being in a federal penitentiary because a dude had a fucking a needle cap stuck on the zipper of his jeans. That's how all this started. That's how it all. They wouldn't have said a damn thing. I don't even think they were going to take Chris's license, to be honest. But just because he had that needle cap on his zipper. Like, and how did it get on there, bro? What did he put it on there? I asked him, how the fuck did that get on there, Eric? Well, first of all, my first question is why the fuck are you using needles with Coke, Eric? Like, who are you? What are you doing? Like, I know people use needles. I'm not ignorant, but Coke? Come on, that's a bit much. Like, if you're gonna shoot up, stick with your regular shoot ups, steroids, heroin, whatever. This fucking dude. But they're both dead. Eric died probably, let's see, Christ, 12, 13 years ago. He didn't have no kids. Nathan died before Eric, but he had a son. So his son's a good kid. He's a real good kid, you know, and I'm glad because one thing I'm all about is breaking cycles, you know. Like, but before I end this, I just want to tell you one thing. When you were treated badly as a kid, and you remember those things, right? Like you remember being scared, waiting for dad to come home to whoop that ass, or you broke something and it was just a matter of time until somebody found out. You know, like in one of those types of situations, like you just gotta own up, you know, because sometimes life happens and none of us are perfect, you know. So like losing a loved one is very hard for people to get over, and I understand, you know, I've lost plenty. This is very, very painful. And time does not heal all wounds. It just, the wounds aren't as achy every day. You still think about it. But what breaking cycles is you take, like you have a kid, you let them know at all times they are in love rather than letting them go into the same type of fear or aggression or anger that you may have had because you just didn't know if you were loved or not. I didn't know. I didn't know if I was loved. I was the last of five kids. Do, can you do you believe there's something called parent burnout where parents just burn out after a certain amount of time? I mean, I could see it. I can understand it. It's not happening to me, but maybe that's all. I'm a little too hard on my parents because maybe they were just more tired when I was around. They didn't have as much energy. But, you know, all those things that I wanted to do when I was a kid, I want my kids to have that chance. You know, whether they want to or not, at least I ask them. You know, like my dad would never let me go to Boy Scouts ever. But I thought that was cool because they had a kid on the front shooting an arrow. And I was like, ooh, arrows. I want to shoot them. And they were like, yeah, but there's more than the Boy Scouts than arrows. But I was like, there are arrows though, right? And they were like, yes. So I was like, yeah, I want to shoot them. Dad was like, you're not doing that pussy shit. Okay. I'd rather see you on a soccer field than being a Boy Scout. Ugh. That's my dad voice, by the way. I'm dead on with him. But, like I said, remember when you were young and your parents ignored you? Say to yourself today, I'm going to spend extra time with my kids. You know, and if there was a day where, you know, you got hurt, and nobody came to you or nobody asked you how you're feeling, you're going to go to your kids and ask them just to see. Because maybe they got hurt too. You know? Yeah, you never know. And I really feel like we need to be more open with our feelings and be less mindful of hate. I think a lot of people have hate just stuck in their mind, and I feel bad. I feel bad for people who hate because there's only two ways to go in life. I keep saying this. You can either be happy or you can be sad, and nobody can control how you want to be. So, I choose the love. I choose to have family. I choose to have friends. I choose to tell stories. I choose Hellman's mayonnaise. It's good. Well, you all, thank you for bearing with me today. I feel like I did a rant. Try that again. I think I did a lot of rambling, but I felt like there was a pretty good fine line I shot through there. So, like I said, if I had entertained you at all, please give me a like, share, subscribe, comment. If you ever need anything or just want to talk, you can always contact me. I will always hit you back, and if it's a serious thing, I'll even give you my number so that you can talk to me person to person. So I want you to know somebody's on your side, and be the best person you can be every day. Not just for you, for everybody. Because everybody needs a good example. So you be the example. All right? Peace out, you all. I'll be back.